Hello, welcome to my channel. I continue to develop my top-down stealth robbery espionage game with a comic twist to it. Now, what have changed from previous earlier prototype video? Let me show you. First of all, the enemy AI, the patrolling enemy AI, is not patrolling randomly anymore. Before, it was selecting random points on the nav mesh and moving to it. Now I've seen I don't remember which, a tutorial on the YouTube, and based on it I create this system of patrol path based on this control points. They can be spawned, you can place them anywhere in the world, and plus you can rotate them, and character will set the rotation of the control path. Later in the future I will set up so that for some paths he will take the rotation of the control point, for some paths no. So how do we do it? First of all, we place the path point, right? It's a simple collision sphere with an arrow. It doesn't has anything in its code. It just has a variable for the rotation, and the rotating variable and two variables for wait time that are float. Yes, and I forgot to mention that you can set up the wait time for the control path. Right now it's just one type of wait time, but later I will set up so that I can change it. So we put a path point, let's say for instance here, and then we select our enemy that we want to use. We click added element for the patrol path, use a quick drop to select it, and now here the enemy will use this path point for its movement. We can also select what kind of a movement it will be, like let's say when the path ends, you can just stop and do nothing, so the enemy will just stop on the end of the path. On patrol back, the enemy AI will go back in reverse to these points. On the loop, he will go back, but not on reverse, but first he will go onto the end point, and then he will find the way to the first point, right? So in patrol back, he goes here and then back. So he basically goes in reverse, and in the loop he just goes to the end and then to the start from any point. He doesn't calculate this point. So let me show you right now how this works. I will delete this one because I don't want it there. I just delete it. Okay, so here you can see that I set up that he will stop there, and he will rotate his view first right and then left. Later I want to change it so I can manage how much and how long he'll rotate. So for instance here you can see when he stepped on that control point, he changed his rotation. The problem with it though, that okay, when he sets rotation, he just like snaps to it, right? Later with animation I'll try to fix it. And plus, the problem with the loop, when you use the loop, he uses the last point 2 times because he kind of like reads it again. And another problem that I have is that with the set rotation, right? So when he goes, for instance, when he goes back, if he's on the loop and he goes, for instance, he goes back to this point, right? In reality, he just needs to like go normally, right? But he rotates to this point and then goes here. That's the problem I will fix next. Okay, so another thing, I think so I reduced the I reduced the speed with how fast enemy detects me, and plus I gave a hitbox, so when enemy gets too close to me, I will get busted right away. Before I was getting busted only when the cone, not the cone, but the flashlight was like filled up, right? So here you can see the flashlight. If I'm in the zone, he fills up. Another thing that I added is that when he starts detecting you, it's not only a UI above him, the progress bar starts filling up, but the cone of vision changes the color too. Right? So because I had this problem with, for instance, the enemy is out of the screen, right? And you are maybe behind behind the block, and you don't really see his vision cone. And I wanted to give this like indicator that even when you don't see an enemy, you just see his cone, you will still like see that he reacts to you, right? Another thing that I'm currently editing is, for instance, I have two types of camera, right? The normal cameras, let me show you how they work. So they rotate with time to the left and to the right, and they have a certain time of detection. And when detection comes, they just call the nearest enemy to its point, and enemy starts the detection there. And there's another camera here. This camera, the way it works is that it's static, it doesn't move, and plus its detection time is instant, it's almost immediate, right? For this camera, I decided to give it a feature that it will not only call for the nearest enemy, but it will also call an extra enemy AI through the lift, right? Or through some kind of a door, like entrance. The enemy AI will enter the level from this point. Now, why I added this is so that you would try to avoid these cameras as much as possible, and if it happens so that you trigger them, it will increase your difficulty of the game. And with the enemies that it will spawn, I'm still thinking about how to make them. They're either gonna be like patrolling enemy too, or I'm gonna do them more more aggressive enemies. They will just go to the random points, so you can't predict their movement, so it will like make the game a bit harder for you. And plus, they can detect you when you're disguising. I'm not sure if they just can detect you faster or they just can detect you right away. This I will need to play test. I think that's all for now. That was my primary change. F to pick up. Yeah, and then I just added this like small notes for the playtesters, for the people that I give to playtest the game, so they understand the movement better. I'm still thinking about how do I teach the player, because it's not really immersive or like emergent game when you can just teach the player how to do stuff while like they're playing. They need to know certain actions right at the start of the game. So I'm still thinking about how to make a tutorial for the game. Yes, and I think that's all for the prompts right now. Let me play you one last time. Okay, let's say he's looking. I'm avoiding. And I want to add the noise detection too, so that, for instance, if I'm running near him, he can hear me and he will face to me, but when he will detect me. Yeah, see. When I got too close to him without crouching, and I hit him, he detect me right away. That's why I need to crouch, because it makes me slower and gives me more precision to attach to him, right? To mime. No, I missed the change. So okay, I will do other stuff right now. I will just collect the valuables, collect the secret document. As you can see, they detect much faster. I still have the problem with their detection bar, is that when you start to detect and it like fills up. So for instance, here I have a problem, right? That I need to get through this path, but if I will get into it, I will get the by the way. For this thing, I created a mechanic that when you mime or you like get attached to the enemy AI, the camera won't see you, because you kind of like it doesn't detect that it's a different person. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Okay. I need to get plus document. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Here's the score. The score system is very simple. It gets how much valuables you stole, it gets the time, and it gets the detection, and it's basically like the detections are just like subtracting from the score, and the finish time. I have a I don't know. I have an equation that kind of like gets the number that you need to be as fast as possible to get the maximum score. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching.